Good morning and welcome to the City of Houston Municipal Courts Department. I'm Barbara Hartle, Director and Presiding Judge. On behalf of our judges, clerks, court staff, prosecutors, and defense bar, I thank you for being here today to fulfill your jury duty. Jurors perform a vital role in the American justice system. Both the right to vote and the duty to serve on a jury are integral parts of our rights and duties as citizens. You are here to exercise your right and your responsibility and participate directly in the operation of your government. You are very important to us, and we want your jury service to be as convenient and comfortable as possible. In Texas, all persons charged with a criminal offense have the constitutional right to a trial by jury, including traffic cases, which are Class C misdemeanors. You will be pleased to learn that your service today is for one day only. However, please plan on spending the full day here from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. The jury administrator has already checked you in this morning, but I wanted to make sure that each of you has reviewed the information on your summons, including your name and address, and have completed and signed the questionnaire on the front of the summons prior to turning it in. In order to issue you a check for your service today, we must have accurate address information. If any information has changed or is incorrect, please inform the jury administrator. She will make the changes directly into the jury system. I would now like to share more information about your service today. We are pleased to offer free Wi-Fi and cable television to jurors. There is a vending area located next to the jury assembly room. Snacks and beverages are allowed in the jury assembly room, but are not allowed in the courtrooms. You will be permitted to take restroom breaks and a lunch break as communicated by the jury administrator. If you need to leave the room at any other times, you must inform the jury administrator. Please also note that electronic devices and reading materials are welcome while you wait in the jury assembly room, but are not allowed in the courtrooms. Finally, please refrain from taking pictures or video with your cell phones during your service today. Texas law provides certain disqualifications and exemptions for jurors. This means that some of you may not be able to or elect not to serve as jurors. These disqualifications and exemptions are outlined on the back of your jury summons. If any of them apply to you, please check the appropriate line, sign and date in the spaces provided at the bottom of the form, and inform the jury administrator. For future reference, you have the option of claiming your disqualification or exemption by mail or online. In addition to the disqualifications and exemptions, there may be other conditions that make it difficult for you to serve. A judge will be in shortly to have private conferences with jurors who have special requests. If you have a physical or mental condition that you feel prevents you from serving as a juror, even with reasonable accommodations, you must submit a letter from a physician explaining your condition. We recognize that some of you may have family or business plans that make your jury service difficult. Unfortunately, Texas law does not allow a juror to be released from jury service for these reasons. However, the law does allow us to reschedule your jury service to a more convenient date. Defendants and witnesses are scheduled for jury trial at 8 o'clock a.m. After docket call, the courts are prioritizing cases and prosecutors and defense attorneys are conferring with witnesses. Even if cases do not proceed to trial, does not mean that justice was not served. The agreements that are reached in a court occur in all courts statewide and are necessary to resolve cases and maintain reasonable dockets. Many times, the mere presence of jurors allow for the plea bargain process to proceed and cases to be resolved. The plea agreements that occur in our courts are likely to require that the defendant pay a reduced fine, be granted deferred disposition or probation, which comes with certain conditions including paying a fee and remaining citation-free during the probationary period, or be granted the driving safety course. These agreements not only assist the defendant in avoiding a conviction, which affects a person's driving record, and possibly a higher fine that could be imposed by a jury, they also assist in reducing the overall caseload in our courts. Although we communicate regularly with the courts, we cannot predict when a jury panel will be called to hear a trial. Jury panels are often released in the courtroom by the judge because the case has worked itself out. Other days, jurors may be called to hear a case and are dismissed by the jury administrator in the jury assembly room. Please be assured that jurors will be released early if there is not a need, because we know that a juror's time is valuable. I would now like to review what you can expect during your jury service today. There are currently 9 courts that conduct jury trials in this courthouse. Groups of 15 jurors will be randomly formed into panels by the jury administrator through the court's jury database. The corresponding juror questionnaires will be sorted by panel, scanned, and routed to the judge of the requesting court, who will provide copies to the defendant and the prosecutor. A bailiff will come to the jury assembly room and line up the panel of 15 jurors in the order that they will be seated in the courtroom. The panel will be seated and greeted by the judge, who will provide additional information. The prosecutor and the defense will begin the jury selection process by asking the jurors questions that will assist them in selecting the jury. This is called voir dire, which means to speak the truth. The purpose of voir dire is to select a jury who can lay aside any bias or prejudice, evaluate the facts of the case fairly and impartially, and apply the law as outlined by the judge. At the end of voir dire, 6 jurors will be seated in the jury box. The jurors not selected to hear the case will be directed back to the jury assembly room for further instructions. If you are among the 6 that are selected, you will hear the evidence presented by both sides and then deliberate until a unanimous verdict is reached. When the judge reads the verdict, he or she will dismiss the jury and your service will be complete. Upon conclusion of your jury service today, the jury administrator will issue a certificate of service. This certificate can also serve as your work excuse. If you need a more detailed work excuse that includes the specific time you were released, the jury administrator can provide this to you. You will be eligible to receive $6 in compensation as per state law upon conclusion of your jury service today. This fee will be paid by check and mailed to the address on your summons within the next 2 weeks. You may also elect to opt out of receiving your juror fee. If you choose to opt out, please let the jury administrator know when you check out today. Thank you again for your invaluable service to our courts and to the legal system. Without jurors, justice would be delayed. I hope you enjoy your experience. We welcome any suggestions on how we can improve the process. So please feel free to let us know how we can make jury service better. You can send an email to me at presiడింgjudge@houstontx.gov. Thank you.